accurately and efficiently? And how can Hytera's communication solution help to prevent the cross-infection and ensure people's safety? Now, I'd like to introduce our speaker for today, Ms. Sharon Liang, Senior Product Marketing Manager from Hytera. She has a comprehensive and deep understanding of customer requirements and marketing trends. Our panelists today are Wendy Yang and Evan Wang. They will answer the question through the Q&A box. There will be also a 10-minute dedicated Q&A section with Sharon after the presentation. Now, I'd like to invite you to join me in welcoming Sharon.
Hello, everyone. I'm Sharon from Hytera. And now our sharing of Hytera pandemic prevention solution will be started, okay? And hope my sharing will help you a lot. Now we move to the first part. And we all know that the coronavirus pandemic has been spreading very fast across the world. And as of yesterday evening, it has taken about 2.1 million people and about 139 deaths. So, and the virus has also been detected in at least 177 countries. So the rising numbers make us very sad. And this means thousands of homes are broken, right? And in order to deal with the coronavirus, many countries, they adopt very tough measures like the country lockdown. And the Boston Consulting Group made a prediction report on the potential lockdown end date of 20 countries at the end of last month. It means that they made the prediction the last month. And the prediction is made based on the daily new cases, the total active infected patients, and other factors like the number of people who suffer from the respiratory diseases and their ability to manage the epidemic. And the modeling results show that the earliest potential lockdown end date is about July, and for some countries, it is August or even September. So we need to fight against the enemy, okay, our common enemy for a very long time. And we need to get us prepared. However, we are not fully prepared for fighting against the virus because we face a lot of challenges. And what kind of challenges? Like the lack of protective materials. And we all know that now in every corner of the world, we are lack of the masks, protective clothing, coronavirus testing kit. And for some medical workers, they even use their self-made medical masks, and they wear trash bags in order to protect themselves. So the safety of our frontline workers cannot be guaranteed. And besides, normally we use our handheld infrared thermometer to manually measure the citizens' temperature one by one. So the measuring is very efficient, and most important of all, we know that we need to keep about 5 centimeters in order to guarantee the accuracy of the measurement, I mean the distance between the thermometer and also the citizen. So the close contact between our city protectors and the thousands of citizens during the measurement will also increase the cross-infection risk. And if during emergency, if we want to take note of the abnormal temperature, we need to we need to take note manually. So the manual recording is also very inefficient, and the personal information collection is also very difficult. For example, like their face experience and their ages, their addresses. And another very big challenge is that we do not have enough instant communication radios, and because it is very difficult. Also, it is very difficult for us to apply for the frequency resources in order to extend our TMR coverage. So it will result in the poor collaboration between different districts, between hospitals, and between even cities or countries. I know that it is not the enemy of only one district, of one city, it's the enemy of the whole country, of the whole world. So the communication is not so efficient, and the collaboration is quite poor. And besides, we lack a very unified platform for us to share the information and for us to quickly respond to prevent the spread of the epidemic area. And the last challenge we are facing is that, you know that during the lockdown time, it resulted in the high unemployment rate. And we also had, our economy also has been impacted, seriously by the pandemic. So there's the increase in disputes, between our law enforcement officers and citizens because of the employment rate, and also their lack of money to protect themselves, and also lack of the protective materials. So in this case, we cannot protect our heroes very well. And if we don't protect our heroes, who's going to protect us? So this is the question we must face. And Hytera, you know, we're based in China, and China is the first country to discover the COVID-19 virus. And we obtained effective controls during the epidemic fight. And we have got extensive experience in the pandemic prevention and control. And China, and our country, Hytera, also actively participated in the fight, So we also accumulate some relevant experience. So dear partners, and Hytera as a company with a strong social reliability, we need to do something in order to help our heroes in this battle, based on our good relationship with Chinese business partners, and with the partners who can manufacture some protective materials to ensure the frontline workers' safety. We can also provide a rapid body temperature monitoring solution for them, and also provide an efficient communication solution for the rapid disposal to the incident, if during some incident, and if during the outbreak of the pandemic. And another solution that we can provide is the body-worn camera solution for us to record the videos during the disputes or during the conflicts, between our law enforcement officers and also our common citizens, in order to protect the innocent citizens and to protect our innocent law enforcement officers. So we will fully utilize our capability to help the world to prevent the pandemic and to control the disease, control the virus. And who may need our solution? The application scenarios is very wide. From the customers, we all know that for the customers, there are many travelers every day. So they need a very efficient temperature monitoring system, and also efficient communication system for them. And like the hospitals, hospitals have many infected people every day, and we also need to give our protective solution to our nurses and the doctors in order to protect them and to come back to the disease for a very long time. And the solution can also be applied to some ports or stations, or even like airports. And not only this solution cannot be only for the places that with a lot of people, crowds of people. It can be used in restaurants, for us to make sure that all the bread makers or all the dish makers, their body is in good condition, and also used for in the enterprise for us to restore our productivity. And so I think that there are very wide application scenarios for our solution. And as for the anti-epidemic materials. Okay, we provide the one-stop platform, and we can provide the medical face mask and also the KN95 protective mask, the infrared thermometer for us to get the immediate temperature with a handheld device, and also other materials, for example, the protective clothing and the medical goggles for us to protect our nurses and doctors. And also the COVID-19 antibody test kit. Okay, if some hospital need it, we can also deliver this solution to them. And one thing I want to stress on is that, in early February this year, China, we are stuck in the pandemic. So we also are short of the medical face masks. So at this time, Hytera, to protect our employees and to make more face masks for those who cannot get one mask to protect themselves, we decided to set up the face mask production lines. And now we have 3 lines, and the production amount for one day is about 300,000. So we now can achieve mass production levels. And so with the and also for the bacteria filtration efficiency, okay, the masks we produce, okay, we pass the standard in China, and that the standard requirement for the filtration efficiency is about 95%. And for our test result, it shows we can pass the 99.7%. So the filtration efficiency is really high. It's higher than the standard. And as for the body temperature detection solution, we can provide 2 kinds of solutions. The first solution is for the multi-person temperature detection. This is for this solution, it can mainly be used in places like some airports, like the customers that have a lot of travelers or passerbys every day. And we can see from the diagram that the solution is quite simple. We can just deploy one hybrid camera and one black body. We can see that the hybrid camera is for us to detect the temperature and also to record the video. And for the black body, okay, you can see that it is mainly installed at the front of the camera. And the distance requirement, we suggested it is 3 meters. Now you may ask why it is 3 meters. Because of the camera, it has the fixed focal length. So for 3 meters, we can capture the face information in the best effect. It means that we can get the most clearest faces at this distance, 3 meters. And now we can see from this image that the black body is deployed at the left top corner, right? Okay, and for us to do the temperature calibration. And for the black body, the temperature we suggested is 35 degrees, and it is tested. Which is this temperature based on our tests. And this black body is mainly for the temperature calibration, right? To make sure that the temperature detected by our device is of a good accuracy. And the deployment is also very flexible, very easy. We can see from this picture, we just need to put our black body onto the tripod. And also for the hybrid camera, we can also put the camera to the tripod. So when the device is connected to the power, it can work automatically to detect the temperature. And I mean, if we do not want to store the evidence, we do not want to have logs to see the history logs, okay? We just need to connect one laptop or one computer to the hybrid camera with the IP cables, and for us to see the real-time monitoring status, just like in this picture. We can see the faces, okay, also the temperature shown here. And okay, you may, another question that is mainly that is most frequently asked by our customers is that how many faces can be detected at the same time. Okay, it is depends on how many faces can be shown in this square. We can see there's a blue square here, right? And all the faces that can be shown in this square can be detected simultaneously. So it can support multiple person temperature detection at the same time. And if there's abnormal temperature, the hybrid camera, it will give the alarm, and also it also have a light, right? A light alarm and also the voice alarm, okay, to announce the workers that there's a abnormal temperature here, and you need to get it to be for the screening. I mean the re-inspection, retest the temperature, or send him to quarantine area. And so during this time, we can use our POC solution. I mean the POC PNC550 or PNC380 for them to realize the instant communication between their team members. Okay, once there's abnormal temperature, okay, then the other workers, which is responsible for the quarantine, will come here immediately. And besides, you can see that we also recommend the body-worn camera here, because during the inspection, okay, especially we want to send some people to quarantine area. There will always be conflicts, right? And for the body camera is mainly used for us to use as a mobile CCTV, okay, for us to capture the evidence. Okay, once there's conflicts, we can have the evidence to show the innocence of our city protectors, of our law enforcers. And if we have a lot of hybrid cameras, for example, we have many exits in the like in the airport, at the airport, a lot of exits or entrances. We do not want only just one hybrid camera, and then we can deploy several hybrid cameras. And for one hybrid camera, okay, if we want to store its the videos that it is recorded, or the logs, okay, the temperature logs, we can just deploy the network video recorder. Now, this one is for us to store all the videos, all the evidence, and all the logs, temperature logs for us, okay? And we can just deploy one computer with the NVR, and one monitor with the NVR, and the monitor can be connected to the NVR through a HDMI cable or through the VGA cable, okay, for us to to view, okay, just this screen, and we can see that we can see the temperature here, and red means that it is an abnormal temperature, and we can also see faces on the right side. So it is very convenient for us not only to see the thermal image, but also can see his two faces, right? And okay, if we and for one network video recorder, okay, we recommend to connect 6 hybrid cameras, okay, because we all know that in this situation we use our hybrid cameras to detect temperature, and the 6 cameras for one NVR. We can make sure that the NVR has the best performance. So one NVR, 6 cameras. And if we want more cameras, we can deploy more NVRs. And if we want to manage, for example, 12 cameras evidence and 12 cameras logs, we can also deploy the DSS Express. DSS Express is just like a server service, right? It can be deployed in a server. or in a high performance computer. And once it is deployed, we can just access to the DSS Express workstation, just like our work client, just like a client. We can just log into the client and to view the all the recordings of all the cameras and also the log information. Now we go to the next slide one by one, and I will show about the solution components, about the multi-person body temperature detection solution. And the most important component is the thermal network bullet camera. You can see that it has two cameras. One camera is for them to, it's for it to show the videos. Okay, it is the visible light camera, and another camera is the thermal camera to show the thermal images, just like this. So two cameras work together, and this camera, we usually recommend you to set it upon a tripod, right, for very flexible and quick deployment. The temperature, the thermal network bullet camera can not only be used as a body temperature detector, it can also be used as a surveillance camera, because it can record videos, right, and be stored on the network video recorder, the NVR. So if you buy this solution now, and when the pandemic is over, you can also use the solution as your CCTV, right? So it has versatile functions. And another very big feature, a big advantage of this solution is that it has, you can ensure the accuracy of the temperature detection, because this camera should be worked with the black body. And the black body, as I mentioned before, it is mainly used for us to calibrate the temperature. And this is a constant temperature source, and the suggested temperature is about 35 degrees. And when we use this black body with our thermal network bullet camera, the accuracy can be about less than 0.3 degree. And during some of our tests, it can reach the 0.1 degree. So that we can ensure the accuracy of the temperature detection to the utmost. And another very great advantage is that it is very secure. Why we say that it is secure? Because you know that we must keep a distance, right, between the black body and also the thermal network bullet camera. Because the camera, we use the fixed focal length. So the suggested screen distance about 3 meters. There's non-contact temperature. This is the non-contact temperature detection solution. So we can ensure that, there's no close contact between our workers, our law enforcement workers, between the citizens passerby. And this solution is also very efficient, because it can support the quick detection. And the detection speed is less than 1 second. So it is very quick, and support multi-person measurement. As I'm showing to you, we can detect all the, once we can see all the faces here, right, in the blue square, we can detect the temperature, automatically together, How many people shown here, how many faces, how many temperature we can detect. And also very flexible, because we can not only set up them in some entrances and exits, but also set up in airports and railways with a lot of population, a lot of passerbys every day. And compared with our handheld temperature detection, the equipment, this one, the log can be traceable, because we can generate records automatically for easy tracing back. And for the record, you can see we not only have the temperature, we can also keep the video, right, we can not only see how high temperature this guy has, but also see what he looks like. Okay, it is very efficient and very convenient for us to test back later. And for this network video recorder, and okay, this device, okay, and it can support at most 2 8TB disk, and for 1 terabyte, okay, it can support about it can store about 86 days videos for 1 camera. Okay, 8 terabyte. 8 terabytes for 86 days, and 2 terabytes can support about 170 days. So if you have any question concerning this solution, you can ask in the question box, okay? And now we move to another solution, okay? Another solution that is used for one-person temperature detection. And we can see this solution is also very easy and very flexible for us to deploy. And it composes one, okay, temperature detection camera, and we just need to leave a laptop or leave a computer or a server with a very clean operating system for us to install the backend system. And, because when we install the backend system, our PIN-C550 or other POC radios can connect to the backend system to receive the instant alarms. Okay, it can receive the alarms automatically, okay, like shown in this video. And I will go one by one. And for this camera, okay, and this camera, it can just support one person at the same time. So it is very suitable for us to use in some office buildings. Okay, when we recover our productivity, when we return to our office to work, we need to check the temperature of our workers every day, of our employees every day. So we can use this way, instead of the handheld equipment. And the test distance between the camera and also our employee is about 0.6 to 0.8 meters. So it is also can ensure the safety between our employee and also our workers, to reduce the cross-infection risks because of the distance, right? And besides of the temperature check, this device can also support the face recognition, okay? We can see that this device can support 10,000 offline faces at most. And it means that after we imported the faces to our backend management system, we can just synchronize the faces to the devices, okay, automatically. And then if the device is offline, I mean, if the device is not connected to the backend system, it can also work independently to check the temperature, to do the face recognition. And besides of the face recognition, it can also support the mask recognition. Okay, this feature is customized. So if you need this feature, you can tell us. And mask recognition means that if you wear a mask, okay, if you wear a mask, we can also see your faces, and we can also show your name, your ID information on the screen of the temperature detection machine. And you know, for this solution, we also detect the temperature of the forehead. Okay, just like the above solution. So for this solution, if we wear the masks, it can also detect the temperature, because the only requirement for us is to reveal our forehead. just like the above solution. And if there's an alarm, I mean, if the temperature is above 37.3 degree, okay, it will send, it will show the voice like the abnormal temperature, and also the all the alarms will be sent through our servers to the PIN-C550 or other POC radios automatically, okay? And for this radio, when it receives the alarms, it will have the message showing up here. And also it will have alarms, just like audio alarms here, okay, for us to, for our workers to know the information, to know the situation immediately. And then we will send the personnel, our employee, for re-inspection, okay, to check whether it is above the abnormal temperature or not. And if it is above the temperature, then we use our device, our POC terminals, to realize the instant communication, okay, with our other rescue teams, okay, to quarantine the person or to do other measurements in order to minimize the spread of the virus. And another very great feature about this system, that if we deploy if we connect, okay, one static public IP to our server, our PIN-C550 can get the alarms anywhere where there's network, because the PIN-C550, where it can access to the server, it can get the immediate alarm. And for this system, okay, the logs can not only show the temperature, but also the phase, the entry time. So it is very convenient for us to do some retrievals back, and to manage, for example, how many people pass this entrance today, and how many of them have high temperature. And this solution is just very suitable for us to use in small, middle-sized organization to do the temperature measurement. Also can help us to do the visit management. And what does it mean, the visit management? Because you know that for this device, it can do the face recognition, right? So normally we just import the faces of our employees, okay, to this device. So if it matches, then it will show registered. I mean, the device will announce, okay, it has the voice alarm, right? It will announce registered. If okay, if a visitor comes here, and if we want to enter this building, if we want to enter our office, okay, when he want to, we first ask him to check the temperature, right? And if his face is not stored in the machine, it will show unregistered. So in this way, we can identify whether he's our employee or not. It is very convenient for us to manage if it is visitors. We can also see his faces, his entry time, and also his temperature at the backend system. So very efficient, very convenient for us, not only to manage the information about our employees, but also about visitors. And another question that a lot of customers ask before is that how many devices, I mean the temperature check devices, can one server support? Yeah, it is not restricted. It depends on the performance of your server, and it depends on the network condition, because the device is connected to the server through the LAN network, local network, okay? And about the devices, about the POC radios that connect to the server, the numbers is also not restricted. Okay, so you can just deploy the system very flexibly based on your own requirement. Okay, how many temperature check devices and how many radios. Okay, it is not fully restricted. And this is all of this is the end part of the body temperature detection solution. Okay, and I share with you about two solutions. The first solution is for us to detect the temperature of multiple persons at the same time. And for that solution, it can support, for example, have the advantage of the great accuracy because of the black body, and can support multiple person detection at the same time, so much more efficient. And another solution, okay, here, one person detection, the advantage here is that we can have the immediate alarm based on our POC radio, so we do not need to have a dedicated person who is stand here to look after the temperature check machine. And another advantage is that we can have the face recognition, right, for us to manage whether it is our employees or our visitors, for us very conveniently to trace back all the logs on the backend because of the powerful backend management system. So the two solutions, okay, their application scenarios is different. And the previous solution, the multiple person detection solution, is mainly used in places with a lot of people passing by, and the one person solution can be used for some middle-sized organizations and also small restaurant or market, right? Because in this situation, the passerbys, concurrent passerbys is not so many, so we can mention them to pass by one. And besides from the temperature detection solution, for us to recognize the risk and to minimize the cross-infection and to control, the virus. And we also can provide the convergent communication solution. Okay, we all know that time is money and time is life, right? Especially during this pandemic time. Okay, so instant communication and also very powerful data sharing platform is very useful, and it can also, to some extent, it can save lives, or for us to control the pandemic to the utmost. And we all know that, for example, for some of our organizations, they already deployed their PMR networks before. So, but at this time, okay, the pandemic area, okay, it is not just confined to one small area, for example, to one hospital. Yeah, we have a lot of infected, okay, patients, okay, at all corner of the city, and also across cities. So the original PMR network coverage is not enough. And one of our requirements is that we must realize the incident communication between our PMR radios and also with our workers, our city protectors, where that who is out of the coverage of the PMR network, right? And we can use our Hytera Hytera Pro solution for us to realize the integration, the convergent communication between between the PMR network and also between the public 3G, 4G, or Wi-Fi network. Okay, and 3G, 4G Wi-Fi network. Okay, we realize we can under this network we can use our POC solution, right? We can use our POC radios to connect to the public 3G or 4G or Wi-Fi, and then through our Hytera Hytera Pro server, and then directly connect to the PMR network to realize the instant communication. And besides, if for some organizations they do not need the PMR network. They just want to have the instant communication. Okay, they want very because the time is limited, so they want the faster deployed system. We can just deploy the POC system to them, because for the POC system, we can fully make use of the public 3G, 4G, or Wi-Fi. We do not need to set up the stations, right, base stations. The only thing we need to do is deploy a server or 2 servers for them to access to the network, and also just insert the SIM card, right? Insert the SIM card to the POC radios, like the VM780, PIN-C550, PIN-C380, and for them to realize the instant communication onto the POC server. And besides of the instant communication capability and also the convergent communication ability provided by the POC server, we can also make advantages, make full use of the POC system based on the broadband, because we use the 3G, 4G Wi-Fi broadband channel, right? So we can not only enjoy the benefits that it brings, about the voice communication, we can also realize the video communication or multimedia message communication, right? So for the application level, it is very rich. We can not only realize the voice dispatch, but also the video dispatch. Especially now at this time, the expert concerning the pandemic virus is very limited, right? But there are a lot of patients, waiting for us to treat them, and so the professionals are limited. So we need some video solutions for them to realize the remote diagnosis, and also for the GPS dispatch, can provided by the Hytera HyTalk platform, and also the multimedia message for us to share the information very instantly, like the voice, like some tests, some photos or videos, for us to share some emergency situations. So we can provide a convergent communication solution to ensure that they can enjoy the instant communication, to enhance their response speed to the emergencies, to minimize the cross-infection, to minimize the spread of the epidemic area, but also the video dispatch and the multimedia message for us to enhance our treatment efficiency, right? And we will go the solution one by one. Go through one by one, and this is a healthcare communication solution. We all know that now, every hospital is have a lot of patients, right, who are infected from the virus. And during the epidemic, firstly, there's a continuous stream of ambulance calls every day, right? And how to react to these situations is very important. And during the treatment, and how to ensure the medical staff not be infected, and to ensure the accurate and very fast treatment are also very critical. For example, when they receive the ambulance calls, the workers, our ambulance workers can use the VM780 here, body-worn cameras. And why body-worn cameras? Because for the body-worn cameras, the dispatch center can pull the real-time video back to the command center, right? So for the expert at the command center, he can get to know the patient's situation at the first time, when our ambulance workers get the patient. And to be ready and to find the treatment solution for the patient to enhance our reaction efficiency. And another very good advantage or very good function that VM780 can provide is that it can it can record videos, right? Now, when we just turn on the video recording button and attach the body one camera to our shoulders, we can just free. It can free our hands, right? We do not need to hold the cameras to record the videos. So we can use our hands to do other things, okay? And besides, and the videos recorded, can be used as evidence. For example, especially during this serious time, there's a lot of disputes between the medical workers and also the patient, right? We can use it as evidence for us to solve the disputes. And another very good benefit the evidence can bring to us is that we can just use the evidence as the training material later. Because at this time, our medical workers is very limited, and so we at this time, a lot of medical workers are from other clinical departments. Maybe they have not get in touch with the pandemic patient before, so they are not professionals in this area. We can just use the videos as a training material to get our workers to be more professional. And besides, this device have the PTT button, so we can just realize the instant communication with our command center, with our group, to enhance our treatment accuracy and to enhance our reaction speed based on the instant communication. And our solution can not only help our workers, our health workers, at the ambulance scenario, but also when they work in their in the hospital. For example, our devices, we can not only use our VM780, but also the PNC550 or PDC550. Because for this device, it supports glove operation. So they do not need to take off their gloves in order to, because in these cases, we can minimize the cross-infection to the utmost because, the virus is mainly spread through our hands, right? So another very great advantage that we can provide is that we can fully utilize the TTT button to realize the instant communication between our colleagues. For example, when we want to do some diagnosis, we can use the remote video diagnosis, right? We don't need to gather together for a meeting. The only thing we need to do is to sit at our working places and communicate with the others through the PTT button. Do not need to gather together to minimize the cross-infection. So it is called the non-contact method of diagnosis. And so we can provide the total communication solution to our healthcare workers, for them to minimize the cross-infection, to enhance their reaction speed, to enhance their professionalism regarding the treatment of the pandemic disease. And we will go the device highlights one by one. For example, for the solution we shown in the previous slide, we mainly show the Hytera POC solution, right? And for the device that they use, we recommend like the PC380 or other devices. And all of them have the great PTT button, right? So they can realize the instant communication with the devices. No need to dialing. For example, if we want to communicate with others through smartphones, we need to input the numbers and wait for some time, normally about 5 to 6 seconds for them to reply. And for the PTT button and also the PTT solution we provide here, once we push the button, okay, and once we talk, other people can hear us instantly. So it can make sure that all our words that we want to say will be transferred to others, will be shared to others automatically to enhance our work efficiency and also communication efficiency. Another very big advantage about POC is that the instant communication is not just restricted to one hospital. You can realize the instant communication between our hospital workers and our ambulance workers. For example, our ambulance workers are on the way or far away from our hospital. We can just transfer our audios through the 3G or 4G, public 3G or 4G network. So can enlarge our communication coverage. And another highlight of the terminals that we shown here, it has a very big speaker. It has a very big speaker power. It can support the 2 watt maximum audio power. And for example, for the PC380, it can support the 125 dB loudness. And what does it mean? Normally, when we say something very loud, okay, the loudness is about 70 to 8 dB. So you can see that for the loudness of our speakers, okay, it can make sure that we can hear every word, even in very noisy environment, especially in hospitals. There are a lot of patients' relatives, for example, they are not so calm, right? So some of them cries, and in these cases, our talk radios can make sure that all the information that is spoken by our colleagues, we can hear every word very clearly. And another feature is that we can support the noise reduction, right? So it means that even we are in very noisy environment, when we want to talk to our colleagues through the PTT button, other people can also hear us very clearly. And it's another feature that we can supply a lot of accessories. For example, the belt clip and also the Bluetooth earpiece. Belt clip for us to attach our device, okay, to our waist, and a Bluetooth earpiece for us to and when we attach our device to belt clip, we can just use the Bluetooth earpiece and the ring PTT for us to realize the instant communication, okay, to free our hands, to make our to make sure that we can devote ourselves fully to the work. And for the terminals, for the big screen terminals that we can provide, like the PC550, it can support the gloves operation. Okay, for example, all of our workers, all of our medical workers, they wear their surgical gloves. Also, they wear their protective clothes. So if they want to use the screen, okay, the device can support the gloves operation, so very convenient for them. It does not need them to take off their gloves, okay, to be exposed to risks of cross-infection, and also wet hands operation. Another device with a very featured highlight is that the PDC-550, it can support not only the LT network, but also the DMR network. It means that it can work not only under the POC solution, but also under the DMR solution. Like the DMR solution, for example, for some hospitals, they already deploy their DMR networks. For example, it can only cover some of the departments, not all of the departments, right? So for these departments with the DMR coverage, they can realize the instant communication with the DMR. And for places where there's no DMR coverage, they can realize the communication with the LT network based on the 3G, 4G, or Wi-Fi coverage. And for example, how some of our workers, some of our medical workers, they need to work underground. So for underground, there's no, for example, when there's no LT network, when there's no DMR network, okay, they can enjoy the benefits bring about with the DMR DMO mode, right? Okay, direct mode. Okay, when there's no network coverage, they can just communicate with each other through their PDC-550. So it can extend our communication range to the utmost to make our medical workers to be available anywhere and anytime, to be known of the patient situation, to be known of the tasks of the ongoing status of the tasks. And as for the platform that we can provide, okay, it can support abundant features like the video conference or video dispatch. For example, we can support the video streaming, right? Okay, back to the dispatch center to know the patient's information, the patient's status, and to do remote diagnosis. And also another very great feature is that we can use the video conference, right? For example, a lot of people can participate in the video conference instead of to hold the conference in one room to enhance the cross-infection risks and to enhance our work efficiency. And we can also enjoy the benefits that can brought by the multimedia message. We can just send the images of the temperature information and also the good delivery information to the groups, okay, to share the information to others automatically without the boundary of the regions, okay, where there's a network, where we can know the information immediately. And also, as I mentioned before, at this time, the unemployment rate is very high. And another very tricky and also very another very tricky situation that we need to make sure that everyone that is infected will be settled very well. So at this time, there's a lot of conflicts, right? Conflicts between our law enforcement officers and our common people, and how to, okay, and how to make sure that, okay, we can have the truth to protect each party and who to believe. So at this time, we can just use our VM780, okay, because it can not only support the live streaming of the 3G, 4G, or Wi-Fi network to let the dispatcher center know the real-time situation during the disputes, okay. And another feature that we can, it can also support the recording locally, and for example, it can support. It has a very large view for us to capture very large picture, to capture more details. And also, we know that for the cameras, for the body-worn cameras, it has a front-facing screen. So when the officers is equipped with the body-worn camera, our citizens, they usually tend to come down very quickly because they know they are filmed. So it is a very, it can create a very strong deterrent effect, okay, for us to solve the conflicts happening during the pandemic control time. And besides, our body-worn cameras can not only create a very strong deterrent effect, it can also record evidences, right? So, the evidence can be used for later retrieval or for used to court to prove the innocence of our law enforcement officers and the innocence of our common people. And also, the body-worn camera solution can support the real-time surveillance. Okay, it can work as not a fixed CCTV, but also not fixed as a mobile CCTV for us to to realize the real-time surveillance where there's no fixed CCTV for us to know what is happening at every corner, for example, of the airport, at every corner of the customs. And besides, if there's disputes, we can use our PTT button, right, to realize the instant communication with our colleagues, for ask them to help for us to solve the disputes, and to calm down our citizens, okay, to make everybody can go through this pandemic time. And for this page, we showed some cases, right? Some cases that used our communication solution for them to protect their citizens, to protect their city. We well know that they are heroes. And thanks to these heroes who are on the front line of the battle against the disease or the virus. And so at this special time, I hope that every one of us can keep our social distance or can stay at home and to stay united together to combat the disease. Now, we also hope that the solution we provide about the anti-epidemic materials, about the temperature detection solution, the communication solution, and also the video surveillance solution can help our customers, can help you to defeat the pandemic virus very quickly. And your health and well-being is always our top priority. So now this is the end of this sharing. If you have any time and any questions, please raise it in the chat box. Thank you.
Thank you, Sharon, for a great and informative presentation. Now we have 10 minutes for Q&A section. If you have any questions, please input in Q&A box.
Okay, I will select the question that I can select question from the unanswered question. And one customer asked that, does the body-worn camera has the only to integrate it with any different VMS? At present, okay, for the body camera here, like the VM780, we can support the IPSP. And we have not tested with the OnVIF before. And if you have the requirement, please raise your requirement to us, and we can check it at the headquarters. Thank you. And one customer asks about the difference between the Smart Eye and the Peacock 3000. And, okay, all of the platforms can realize the live video streaming. The difference is that for the Smart Eye, it is mainly used for the body-worn cameras. So the concurrent streaming like videos it can stream is about 60 channels, right? If I'm not mistaken, about 60 channels. And about Peacock 3000, it is mainly for, it is a communication platform, right? So the concurrent channels, the Peacock 3000 support is not so many at the present because of the difference, okay, of the using difference of the, we just need to make the differences between the two platforms because of the platforms. It is mainly used for different using scenarios. Smart Eye is mainly used for surveillance, and the Peacock 3000 is mainly used for communication and also visualized dispatch. And the Peacock 3000, the name that we use outside is called Hytera Hytera, not the Peacock 3000. So thank you for your question. And one customer asked the question about the camera license, right? And for the cameras, okay, it needs a license for them to access to the network, to the Smart Eye network or to other network like the Hytera Hytalk network or platform. We need a license. Thank you for your question. Because it's just like the other platform, and all the terminals that need to be accessed, okay, to the platform, we need the license, right? Thank you for your question. And since the time is limited, now I will choose the last question, okay? Thank you for your questions. There are really a lot of questions here. And one of the customer asked that, are the temperature monitoring solutions available now? And are they supported by local distribution, UK, Ireland? Okay. Okay, you can contact your sales, right? Your regional sales. And the temperature monitoring solution is available just now because we just delivered the solution this month. Thank you for your question. And hope the solution can help you.
Okay, thank you. Please join me to thank Sharon for wonderful presentation and Q&A. Thanks to everyone. Hope you have enjoyed our webinar.